Hello and welcome to this IMS Consulting webinar where we'll explore what is new in Archibus version 25.2. Glad you could make it today. If you have any questions about Archibus version 25.2 or any other questions for that matter, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We can be reached via phone at 800-764-6685 or directly on our website through the contact page, or we have a live bot as well on the website. My name's CJ Singer. I'm a consultant here at IMS Consulting, where we've been implementing Archibus for more than a decade now. So Archibus version 25.2 is the first full software release that is, part of Archibus's targeted quarterly cadence. So version 25.2 contains enhancements for return to work, some space enhancements, application and UI enhancements, as well as some platform and system admin enhancements as well. So we'll start by taking a look at the new return to work functionality. So obviously, COVID-19 is a big factor for all of our lives at the moment, and Archibus has considered that as well with their latest release. So planning to safely welcome employees back to the office is a concern for all facility managers and company leaders. And Archibus now supports space planning cases, social distance validation, auto cleaning after hoteling, as well as a dynamic workplace homepage to support maintaining safe environments after employees return to work. And this is available for both the Archibus Cloud and for the full Archibus product. So Archibus has defined 4 phases to the return to work process, and those are situational awareness, or the employee and location data that already exist in your current space and occupancy inventory. Workplace planning, which focuses on critical employees, phase and shifts, hoteling, and fixed assignments, as well as capacity constraints. Workforce enablement, where you may wish to implement a hoteling program as part of your return to work program, which is basically, booking rooms for one-time use. And monitor and adjustment. To support the final phase of return to work, Archibus has a new dynamic workplace homepage that we'll take a look at here in a moment. You can use this homepage to ensure workplace safety upon your staff's return to the office and to provide your employees with the tools and resources that they need to stay safe upon their return. So let's dive into each of these a little deeper. So first in the return to work functionality will be the workplace planning. So typically, companies bring back employees to the office in phases or shifts, with the employees most requiring office space returning first. As a preliminary step for your return to work strategy, you need to indicate employees who will permanently remain remote and the phase in which other employees will return to the facility. The Mark Employees for Return to Work is a new view for indicating each employee's return to work status and includes the following new fields to denote return to work. So always remote, days in office, return to work info, and employee status. So once you determine the employees who will be returning and requiring permanent seats, you can use the Space Console to make queries that will help you locate appropriate spaces for these employees. Now you can highlight rooms by status on the Space Console. And you can filter rooms by vacancy by day and employee days in office and return to work info. So once you set your occupancy target, you can use the Validate Social Distancing button to visually see that rooms, what rooms will need to be taken out of circulation and which rooms meet your distancing goals. In addition to the return to work plan for fixed occupancy, you may wish to implement hoteling, or that, booking a room for one-time use, as part of your return to work plan. So Archibus has changes in the Space Console that allows for hotel viewing and workflow rules that support return to work strategies. It enables space planners to search for and highlight available hotelable rooms on room plans in the Space Console. Employees can book desks that have been cleared for return to work use, and facility managers can enforce workflows that ensure rooms are not available for booking until they've been cleaned from the previous occupant. You might have a set of employees who are not returning on a set schedule, but will book rooms for the days that they will be in the office. With a hoteling situation, the booked desk needs to be cleaned to ensure that it's in good shape for the next employee using the room. Here, like above, you'll want to set your occupancy targets. And now you can see the safe distancing on the floor plan. And at this point, then you could take the rooms out of service or make them unavailable. And to do that, you'll want to update the room status on the rooms in the space console. And when you do that, you'll notice that the circles will disappear once you set those rooms to do not use. After you set the room status of rooms as available or non-available, you can highlight on the floor plan those rooms that can be occupied and those that cannot be used, so that you know where to place employees that are returning to work. To do this, you'll select the Highlights command and choose the Highlight by Room Status. You can also optionally display the legend to show the colors for each room status. To support the final phase of return to work, Archibus has a new dynamic workplace homepage. Use the homepage to ensure workplace safety upon your staff's return to the office, and to provide your employees with the tools and resources that they need to stay safe upon their return. Use the dynamic workplace homepage to track the health and safety program at your site. The homepage includes key return to work occupancy metrics, like the overdue cleaning request alert, which is important for ensuring that you have enough available hotelable rooms for your returning workers who will be booking these rooms. The homepage also includes key tasks from multiple applications and modules for ensuring a safe and healthy workplace. So now let's take a look at the new space improvements. On the space and planning side, many enhancements designed for return to work were actually trends before the pandemic and will continue going forward. So even if you don't use the space feature specifically for managing a return to work, you can use the features for general space planning. For example, assigning employees to phases and days of the week, or designating employees as working remotely, or assigning room statuses. There have been some changes made to the space console itself as well. So from the space console, you can now export printing the floor plan drawings that contain border highlights. Also, within the layer functionality, you can retain active layers as you switch between floor plans. And you can define default layers. The layers command now includes published text layers so that you can use the layers command to turn them on and off as needed. Let's move on to some changes to the Move console. The Move console now differentiates employees who are part of the Move project from the employees who are already assigned to the selected floor and shown as reference. So employees to Move are now shown in blue, and the employees assigned to the floor are shown in black as a reference. There are updates to the building performance report as well. So if you go over to the building performance report, you'll now see that it now includes bar charts. So now let's take a look at the application and UI improvements. Within the maintenance application, you can now access reference documents for archived work using the Search and Manage Work Request tasks. In the Capital Projects application, you can now import and export Microsoft Project 2016 projects. Administrators can now display their customer logo in the View header using the Edit Logo task, which can be found in the System Admin application. So previously, companies would overwrite a file, but since sites working on the hosted cloud deployments don't have easy access to files, they've now added this task so that you can upload your logo directly to the database. And lastly, there have been some improvements to the Workplace application. Customers with a corrective maintenance license can now define problem types that will appear in the Workplace Service Catalog. Workplace can now display a company logo as just described. And administrators can overwrite the default Workplace colors to match customer brand colors. For example, you might configure Workplace to use a shade of yellow to match your company branding, or use a red color scheme. So that concludes the new additions to Archibus version 25.2. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you'll join us again for a future webinar. If you have any questions about version 25.2 or any other questions for that matter, please reach out to us. You can find us online at ims.consulting. You can find us on LinkedIn. Feel free to call us. You can email us anytime. This is our contact information.